Everybody, welcome back. Sorry that I've been gone for over a week. Been trying to make this video, but my family keeps being a little too loud. Sorry. Anyways, let's get back into it. Last time we left off, we finished with the USJ. So on, on to the sports festival. I'm just gonna quickly go past this since Deku has three quirks and each of them can easily handle all three parts. It's gonna play out the exact same matchups and the exact same events that's gonna happen. And he easily clears getting first place and still makes Todoroki realizing he it's his quirk, not Endeavor's. Just like in canon, the only difference is he wins the entire thing easily. Okay, after that, obviously, they have to get the internships, and for Deku's hero name, uh, y'all can tell me what it should be. Honestly, just anything that isn't incredibly stupid is gonna be fine. And for who's gonna be interning with, he's gonna he's actually doesn't know properly. So he's looking through the binder with all the names on it because he got a fat stack, and decides to choose Endeavor since he doesn't normally use his fire all that much, and he thinks thinks going with Endeavor could help him get better at using his flames, with both purple, orange, and obviously red normally. And I don't. So him and Todoroki both go into Endeavor, and they train. And honestly, Todoroki wasn't expecting his father to reach out to Izuku afterwards, after the what happened in the Sports festival. But he's a little happy, but also a little mad at my voice is not good, and I can't talk properly. Great. And a little mad that Izuku's there, but he's almost just fine. Obviously, like 3 to 4 days go by, and then obviously we get the Stain incident, and yeah, Deku's still a fine Stain, uh, attacking Stain over on top of Ida with his sword in one of his arms. And Zuko, seeing this, immediately goes from, let's say he was there as with yellow, and he immediately goes from yellow to orange and just speed blitzes Stain, not even giving Stain a chance to properly react. He sees Izuku come in, and he's just out. There is no fight. I gave him a strong quote for a reason, so you can't really get mad at me for me easily brushing past this. Uh, but before I finish, uh, Ida on the floor there, still paralyzed. And it's like, why did you do that? He was mine. And Izuku being like, dude, you clearly needed help. Let me help you properly, and you clearly aren't in the right headspace right now. And it's like, and Ida's like, shut up. And it's like, okay. And it's like, Deku just grabs Ida, puts him on his back, and grabs the other two heroes that were also knocked out, or at least paralyzed by Stain nearby. And since he actually captured Stain, just put him in a box with Blue and just got them out of there. Went back to Endeavor with Stain and Ida as the other two started to be able to move. As Ida began to move, because they were just like walking around, seeing if there was anybody else in trouble. Ida had time to calm down, and it's like, and goes and says, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Midoriya, I I should not have done that. I I was just so angry, and and he's still on Izuku's back because he can't properly, because he's like he can move but not a lot. It's still wearing off slowly, and Izuku's like, it's fine, just don't do that again, class rep. And all in all, that entire arc pretty much wrapped up like that. And never deals with the rest of the normal. Since Gran Torino wasn't there, we didn't get that funny scene with Endeavor and Gran Torino. Yeah, I missed that scene. Anyways, they clean up. Todoroki helps with Endeavor clean up the rest of the Nomu that were out. And yeah, that was about it. Since, Zuko wasn't a licensed hero, he couldn't get credit for taking down Stain. And yeah, the ancient ship's over. On to the next part. I believe after this is the forest training arc. So let's get into it. As they're, going about getting on the bus. This probably happened like a couple weeks later. Uh, they're all chatting and stuff on the way to get to the place, and the bus stops and as I was like, oh no, the bus seems to have broken down. Let's stop here real quick. As everybody, gets over to that ledge point, and it's like, hi everybody, and Mandalay and the other Wild Wild Pussycat, the red one, uh, introduce themselves, and yeah, then the entire scene plays out the exact same. I'm not changing that part. Everything there that happened, from them meeting the Wild Wild Pussycats to them falling off and fighting the mud monsters in the forest, the exact same, just n- n- pretty much the exact same. They got there a lot faster. Like, I'd say they got there an hour earlier than the original, but that's about it. Now for the training, Deku's pretty much gonna focus on primarily on Black, because he already told Ozawa about the fact about Black, but he doesn't know how to properly train it, since the cost of using it. It's just like hysterical strength, where it just removes the body's limiters and it can actually hurt him. Although, because Blue and Purple do like very slowly heal you, he does have some amount of healing factor, but it's not really that strong. It's like barely. It's like a couple minutes faster than the average human. So yeah, he's gonna be focusing on Black and his overall output of his flames. He's gonna be working on everything at the exact same time, trying to use all three quirks at the same time, because that's something he can't do properly. It's really hard for him. He can quickly do it, like he can use all three for like about a minute before his body starts giving out, and that's that. It's almost, using all three is almost like Black, but the cost is a lot less. Although it's around the same time, it doesn't take that long, since Black takes around 1 minute and 30 seconds for Deku to use. That's the time limit on that. And using all three is 1 minute. Although that would be all he would need to deal with most, if not the most enemies he would come across, so it's gonna be fun. That's what they're gonna work on, and yeah. We're gonna jump right into the fights, because nothing else changes. Absolutely nothing else. Ugh. So Izuku's hanging out with Koda in his little cave area bit as Muscular pulls up, and Deku's like not having it. He knows this is bad, so he immediately uses yellow to just grab Koda and start running. He's not about to fight this guy, so he just grabs Koda and run before like getting him like a good distance away. And it's like, okay, he just bolts. Oh, he bolts over to Aizawa, gives Koda to Aizawa, and Aizawa's like, "Where did you find him?" And it's like, not the point. I gotta finish off that villain. It's like, well, you're not fighting that villain because Aizawa turns his cloak off and it's like, and grabs him with his scarf, and it's like, I'm probably the only one. No one else knows. Do you know where that thing is? That villain is? Is like, no. And it's like, well, I'm the only one that can get there fast enough and take him down at the same time. So come on, let me do this. Let me take him down, and I'll grab everybody else and get back here, please. And as I was like, fine. Also, on your way back, tell Mandalay, to send everybody this message. I believe that's the right one. Uh, Izuku doing just that. He quickly runs back to Muscular. He's like, well, guess you weren't a pussy after all. This'll be fun. And Deku just having none of that and like, shut up. As he just speed blitzes Muscular and is like, not bad. As he's turning around, as he sees a massive blue hand in front of him because Izuku, while he was behind Muscular, had switched to blue to just basically make a giant gauntlet and using yellow at the same time to just pile drive Muscular into the side of into the side of the mountain, and just went ham. He then obviously made the gauntlet smaller to like fit around his hands a lot more comfortably, and just went off like they were basically diamond brass knuckles. If I had to describe what Dick was doing, he was punching him so fast that with these barrier brass knuckles, Muscular couldn't handle it. His muscles started to tear, and because Zuko was using yellow with blue, he was also sending out small electrical currents around his hand. So Muscular was not only getting punched, but electrocuted at the exact same time at like insanely fast speed. I think JoJo's Bizarre Adventures type of punching fast. And Muscular just his muscles couldn't handle it, as he's like, no, I can't. He's trying to push back, but he can't. Deku just every time a Muscular tries to attack, he just dodges and immediately goes back to beating the shit out of him. It's not even close. As Muscular, he's like, no. He's like, then Deku like knock himself with one final button. It's like, wait a minute, I didn't even ask why he was here. Before before leaving there, it's like, I'll come back for them. I'll come back for him. Before running around the entire forest, first finding Sue and Ojako, helping them out, then grabbing Todoroki and Bakugo after they finish the guy with the teeth sword blade things, and grabs the list of Class 1B and 1A and brings them back to where Aizawa is in by the building. And while they're doing this, the villains are just retreating. They're not dealing with this because since they didn't have Kurogane with them because of what happened in the USJ, they had to get teleported by All for One. And so it's like, All for One, we have to get out of here. It was like already, and it was like that kid you were talking about. He's no joke. He grabbed everybody and just ran. Any reports on the other one? Like, nope. We couldn't find Kosuke Bakugo. Zukumidora probably grabbed him. And it's like, and All for One on the line with Darby, because that's who would be calling him. And it's like, ugh. I knew his quirk was incredibly powerful. I didn't think it was to this degree. He might even be able to rival All Might. And yeah, it is incredible how fast and how strong Zuki's been just by like this. It's probably been like one week of actual training in the forest camp, and he's already fast enough where it looks like he's just a blur. He's moving so fast. He's a blur. He's glowing yellow. Looks like a lightning bolt. That's how fast he's moving with yellow at this point, and he's not even going top speed. The villain's not even getting a chance to steal Bakugo or anybody else. All for One telling them to group up back where he teleported them first. Like I like, and Darby's like, I haven't heard anything from Muscular. It's like, leave him. We can't take any chances of the heroes finding this place, finding where I dropped you off. So the entire thing with All Might, All for One in Camino didn't happen because Zuku already just pushed them back, and I was like, we can't be doing this. I've already changed the story a lot, and I am blitzing past this because there's nothing much I can do. So yeah, that's that. So as it goes by, they that interaction with like I said, the interaction with All Might and All for One in Camino didn't happen. So All Might doesn't acquire quite yet. So he's gonna. So as you know, as the entire thing with Aoi happens, this time with All Might on this, not All Might, he wouldn't be there. But All Might is definitely teaching you at UA still with his powers, and it's by the time the overhaul arc ends, it's pretty much good. Obviously, Deku still goes with Night Eye because he's not going to turn down an opportunity that Mira gave him. Speaking of which, that fight with the Big Three and UA at Class 1A, I mean. Deku, he's trying to help out his classmates, but since in this timeline, Mirio has both permeation and one for all. He's keeping up with Deku, and it's basically just the rest of Class 1A versus the other two. As Deku's trying to keep everybody else safe while fighting Mirio. And Mirio is honestly surprised on how precise Izuku is with his quirk and how strong he's gotten. Because from what he saw at the sports festival, he was pretty broken, but not to this extent. Because Mirio's using around I want to say 45% of one for all at this point, and he's honestly incredibly strong. So that's after this. Obviously, he gets invited to Night Energy by Mirio. Zuku obviously being invited by Mirio to Night Energy, and when Night Eye heard he was coming, he was like, I might as well test his skill. Obviously, we're getting that exact same scene where Nadai test if Zuku by having him take the stamp off his hands. But since Zuko is pretty fast, but since uh, Nara switches, Nara is barely reacting to what Izuku's able to do with Yellow in this confined space of his office. Like he's barely dodging. There's a couple nicks across his suit and skin, and he's like incredible. That's what he's thinking in his mind. Obviously, he's still dodging. As Izuku didn't like the exact same way he was bouncing around the room in canon. It's basically that. You can't tell where Zuko is, and Naida is barely reacting. He's trying to keep this thing away, trying to keep the stamp away from Zuko. As Zuko trips him, as Naida is completely stunned, Zuko just trips him, and as Naida is falling, Zuko palms his face in palms. He takes his hand and palms it into his face, and taking Naida to the ground. As Naida's like for a second there he was unconscious, and so he lets go of the stamp, and Deku, as it just flies out of his hand a little bit, grabs it, and Nare then getting up a couple seconds later is like, "You are quite impressive. No wonder All Might considered you as one as his successor." And also being able to keep up with Mirio. I have no doubt you'll be one of the strongest heroes ever. But Mirio will surpass you. Obviously, greeting Izuku very well into the agency. Him and Mirio cleanly rescue Eri because the because it's gonna play out the exact same. When I mean the exact same, up to when they're going to actually raid the Saikai place, that's where it's going. As Izuku just sprinting down, taking down every villain with like infections of a second. As Miro's also right next to him, doing the exact same thing. As these boys just completely clean up, going down. Miro going ahead since he has permeation to basically no clip through the walls and stuff. Izuku like right behind him. And yeah, when they reach Overhaul and Eri, they don't even think about it. As soon as they see Eri with Overhaul, Deku immediately just he uses orange to give himself an extra speed boost and just immediately blitz towards Overhaul. Overhaul just barely noticing Izuku. Well, the after image of Izuku, I should say, before getting absolutely rocked. He immediately just gets knocked out for the first punch. Miro not even noticing that Izuku was gone until he stopped moving. Easily rescuing Eri, capturing every other villain there. And yeah, although All for One is still out there, he can't do much. From how strong Izuku and Madura and Mirio are, he decides to lay low. He doesn't do anything at all for like the next couple years. He's making sure that there's nothing that happens to him. Obviously, Overhaul gets put into Tartarus, which is a lot better than what happened to him in the original story. And yeah, Izuku goes on to become the number two. Goes on to become the number two hero just after Mario, but only for like 3 to 4 years. After which he becomes the number one, entertains it for like, and just stays there on top without anybody challenging him. So everybody, that's what if Zuko had a color quirk. Bye.